What's up, everybody? It's Jason Zombie Collector, and Card Cutter sent me a care package, Garrett, a couple days ago, and I thought about doing a couple different videos because it's a lot. Let me show you. There's a lot here, and I don't know if I'm gonna spend a ton of time on every card or sticker, but I wanted to do it in a way where I'm trying to, like, make sure I get it all in, if you know what I mean. So I've been at my son's baseball game this entire last weekend, so I've been super busy. I've been a little bit under the weather, and so I just haven't had a lot of time to sit down and do some videos. And so I thought I'd go live. People might pop on. I might hang out for a bit. We can just kind of chat, catch up. It's been a while. I got a couple DVD/Blu-rays in the mail. Hey, what up, BF Golf? What up, homie? I'm going to show off in another video, but I'm going to do a recorded video. But with all these cards, I think if I was doing just one video, like, it would just take an hour. So this way I could kind of chat, show off some cards, talk about the cards I'm seeing, and just kind of shoot the breeze with people who are on here. Nobody shows up, then this video will just be floating around the interwebs. So Garrett sent me this care package out of the blue, and I just have to always say, because I think it really shows what two grown men can do when you put away petty differences. I know I've said these in other videos, but I always like to just kind of go back and say I appreciate Garrett. A handful of months ago, beginning of the year, there was a little kerfluffle between myself and him. I just think it's cool that in our society, in our world today, where people cannot let things go and people just want to continue to paint each other very broadly in a corner or in a certain way that says you are this person I do not like. We were able to, like, work through those things, talk it out, and become really, I would say, friendly. I would say we're between friends and acquaintances. I mean, we talk off and on phone and through texting and things. And, I actually consider him a pal now, just to be honest. And, when he sends me a care package out of the blue with no strings attached, which is really cool, he just knows that I'm the kind of guy who will appreciate these kind of things. So I just want to say thank you again. And again, I think it's indicative to where we're at in a society where we can try to show each other grace and work through things. And I appreciate him, being that guy, and hopefully he feels the same. So anyways, with that being said, let's get into it. The first card I received is, I believe these were cutout cards. I forgot where they came from. I don't really remember, but this is Bruno Sammartino with Killer Kowalski. Sorry. But here we go. I cannot remember what I think they were like a type of off of a package maybe, or some sort of card game. I can't remember. The back's completely brown. It's just the back of it like cardboard. And so here we have this. So I did not have, I think all these cards I did not have. So it was just awesome. When I opened when I got this in the mail, I thought it was a mistake, because I've been getting somebody's mail in my neighborhood a lot more recently that's not mine. So I just thought it was a mistake, and so I was about ready just to put like return to sender or whatever, and then it said card cut on the package or Garrett. I'm like, hold on, wait, what? Because I wasn't expecting it. So here we go. Next up, we have Naomi, and she's still with WWE. She was actually with Lana Rusev, aka Miro's wife, but they just literally fired her a couple days ago, within the last week. So this is Naomi. They were a tag team partner. WWE is a hot mess right now. It's a dumpster fire of an organization. So who knows? Next up is Nikki Bella. I'm not really for sure. Funkadacity, yeah, Funkadactyl, right. Nikki Bella, she showed up in WWE WrestleMania a couple weeks ago. So she used to be pretty popular, I think, with her twin sister. I'm not 100% confident on some of these wrestlers. Kofi Kingston, he's right now currently getting a little bit of a push. He's showing up a lot with Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. So there's some stuff going on with him. I always think he's kind of an underrated wrestler. I feel like he kind of had some pushes, but then he kind of gets pushed to the back. So these are all stickers from 2015, by the way. And then we got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It's funny because I always say Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but I've heard Jim Dugan. But I'm gonna stick with Duggan. That's what I'm sticking with. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I really want to get a chance to meet him. I know he does some like spoken word / comedy tours. So I kind of want to meet him, hang out with him, like I did when I met Jake the Snake Roberts, which was, like I said, a pretty cool experience. Here's Heath Slater, who's currently, I believe, injured and over on Impact. He was let go last year when they did Black Wednesday, as some news organizations called it, some wrestling news organizations. He's a big boy. Like, I didn't realize how big he was till I saw him. Because I don't, like I said, I definitely didn't watch wrestle WWE back in the day when a lot of these guys were around. And now that they're on Impact, I kind of catch that once in a while. And he was on there, but I think he's currently injured. Then we got Godfather with the whole train right there. He also was Papa Shango. So there you go. He was just in town a couple weeks ago in Indianapolis for an autograph convention, a wrestling convention. I wasn't able to make it. My son had baseball that weekend, and I just didn't. I hate going to places, even though I could have went and hung out probably for a good 3 or 4 hours with no problem. I just always hate the feeling of feeling like I'm being rushed or like not feeling this like where I can just relax. And so knowing that I had to leave like middle of the afternoon to go, just kind of would have put it like a little bit of a unnecessary that I put on myself pressure to kind of whip through everything. So maybe he'll be coming back around again because I definitely like to meet him. Here we got Big E, who's currently kind of in some stuff with, oh gosh, I forgot the guy, the Nigerian guy. I believe he's Nigerian. Apollo Crews. He has some stuff going on with him. He has some stuff going on with Aleister Black. And then Aleister Black got bounced. I liked Aleister Black. I think he'll end up on AEW. Andrade just showed up on AEW this past Friday. Ziggy Dice showed up today on AEW Dark, which was a big surprise. He was from NWA. So Ziggy Dice is there. And I don't know if he's going to be signed or he's just showing up. There's a new guy that showed up also that was wrestling Cesar Bononi named Cyrus. Not to be confused with Don Callis Cyrus from back in the day. But Cyrus, he was a big boy. Big boy. Then we got John Cena versus The Rock. I should mean John China. Right there. Mr. Bootlicker himself versus The Rock. I was never like the biggest Cena fan. I always thought like, all right, he's fine. I mean, I was never, again, that generation, those wrestlers I didn't really follow a whole lot. So I didn't really have much invested in them. But knowing that he ended up, sucking up to China to get his Chinese yuan or won, whatever you want to call it, that I lost any respect or interest level I had in him was gone. Unbelievable. If you don't know what the Chinese are doing, it is awful. You can't CCP me. That's true. I like that. Woo! I like that, Ron. But just in case if anybody's still watching this or watching this later, what China's doing to the Uyghurs in China, which are Chinese Muslims up north, they're actually enslaving them and killing people. I used to live in China for a hot minute, and they would put people in concentration camps that were Christians or dissenters of their communist regime. It was awful. So anybody who thinks that what John Cena did was okay is highly mistaken and just ignorant because it's awful. So it's not me just going sideways on somebody because I don't like him. I don't care. And especially if he's Mr. America, like he's always like pro-USA and pro-democracy and pro-American military. And then he turns around and does that. I just was like, wow. Here we got Edge and Undertaker. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. I've never been a huge Edge fan. Again, I respect the hustle. To use a John China message. but I've always been a big fan of the Dead Man. So there you go. Here we got The Rock doing what The Rock does. You can't, The Rock, you can smell what he's cooking. Can you smell? Can you smell? There you go. Then we got one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I just love Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, one of the best all-time wrestlers. I know a lot of people put Ric Flair as probably the best all-time wrestler of all time. And I don't know. I mean, I think he did things obviously the Steamboat never did. But man, for my money and the matches I've seen, because Ricky the Dragon Steamboat kind of came into his own when I was watching him with WWF back in the day. Man, I don't feel like he ever had a bad match. I just felt like he was just always a great wrestler. You could tell a story in the ring. He was good in psychology. I don't remember him having like the best mic skills in the world. But I mean, he was fine. But man, his wrestling was outstanding. I just feel like he gets overlooked a lot. And next up is Brock Lesnar. A lot of people love him. People love to hate him. Again, he came from that generation I kind of just missed out on. So I don't really have any specific feelings about him one way or the other. He is whatever. I know a lot of people don't like him just because he just shows up to WWE for a payday nowadays, and maybe ever since the beginning. It is what it is. Then we got DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, right here. Pretty cool. We got DDP Yoga. He was great. We all know he was great in WCW. And then he just had like an abysmal, like ridiculous kind of run in WWF back in the day. They never used him right. But that's the thing. Aside from Rey Mysterio and I guess Chris Jericho, any other WCW wrestler that came over there was just pretty much buried from the get-go. All of them. They know, like Chris Jericho. If he wasn't the way he was, if he wasn't the Chris Jericho we know, he probably would have like long gone. But him being such a ring general, master micsman on the mic, just such a, forward-thinking individual. He made himself useful to the point where he got himself in a great position. Rey Mysterio is, the premier high flyer luchador. So, there you go. But everybody else pretty much got buried by WWF/E and Diamond Dallas Page, Sting, all the big boys. Booker T. I never felt like Booker T got the fair, representation he should have got. So there you go. Next up is Trish Stratus. Again, Attitude Era lady, nowadays, like the stuff that Trish Stratus and any of the females did back during the Attitude Era up till about 2006, 8, I guess, would be frowned upon in today's world with a lot of the sexualization and just, ridiculousness that they do women, in pro wrestling or sports entertainment, if you will. But anyways, so you have the Trish Stratus. There's no denying she was a good-looking woman for sure, but that era again, I didn't care about the women, nor did anyone else really, because they weren't really wrestling. They were just walking around in like floss and like some tape, and that's essentially their outfits. Now they wrestle. Now you can get excited about watching, Asuka and Rhea Ripley like in WWE and Charlotte Flair and all those girls. But in AEW is where I'm watching, and they used to have a pretty abysmal female division, but they've gotten a lot better over the last year. You have Thunder Rosa over there. You got Serena Deeb, Sheeta, I believe is a really good one. Dr. Britt Baker may be the best women's wrestler in the world right now, just based on her mic skills. And she's had some pretty banger matches in the last year, especially the Lights Out, No Holds Barred, whatever it's called, like barbed wire type match or whatever. Not barbed wire, but like it was like anything goes. I can't remember the exact terminology she had with Thunder Rosa. I feel like she's done a lot better. So anyways, I feel like, in AEW, they're having storylines currently. The WWE, they have no storylines for anybody really, but especially their women's division. They're just circling around each other in the wrestling. Next up, Seth Rollins. Again, someone I never really followed a whole lot. I know he's still wrestling with WWE. He's a big deal, from my understanding. I know he has a pretty on point suit game. He comes out with different kind of lit suits from week to week, I believe. I think he has some kind of like savior thing going there for a while. He may still be running that gimmick that he's like the savior, but I'm not a big fan of anybody who is mocking Jesus. So, there's that. Then we have Paige. Don't know anything about Paige. I'm not going to try to pretend I do. Rosa Mendez. She doesn't look familiar either, so there's that. Then we got Nikki Bella. There we go, Nikki Bella. Can't know much. And then we got R-Truth. Here we go. 24. What is this? The 24-hour. What do you call that? 24-hour champion or whatever. Hey, what up, Henry? So he's a 24-hour. I can't remember what they call that. I don't know. Anyways, you all know R-Truth. The dude hasn't aged in like 20 years, man. He looks exactly the same he did like in 2004 or whatever when he was at TNA and then he went to WWE. Dude has not aged. R-Truth. He's actually a pretty hilarious dude, which it sucks because all the gimmicks they give him to do, I just kind of feel like he's a caricature, and I hate that because he's really great in the ring, but you never see him. He's always like backstage getting pinned for the 24-hour title. Again, I can't remember what they're called, what they call that. And then he wins it back. So next up, this is from 2001. I'm not for sure who's getting kicked in the face, but that's the Big Boss Man. This is a super shiny one, as Pepino Man says or used to say. Since I don't watch baseball stuff anymore, sports card channels, I have no idea anymore. But I will harken back to the old, it's so shiny. Look at it, so shiny. So anyways, we got Big Boss Man kicking some dude in the face. I don't know who the dude is, but there you go, Big Boss Man. From Cobb County, Georgia. Oh, dude, Henry, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Man, I mean, this is the Bay. I mean, this is the YouTube, but you may not want to get too much into it. Is everything gonna be okay? Is this like a minor thing? Is it something serious? I mean, you may not want to talk about it, and I totally understand. But I don't want to just gloss over it either. But regardless, man, I'm thinking about you guys, praying for you. Hopefully, it's gonna be okay. It kind of makes me feel like, well, do I want to keep showing cards right now? I don't want to just be like, man, yeah, not sure, man. Well, hey, I think you have my contact information, dude. If you ever need to talk, dude, just give me a call, man. Reach out to me. You got my email, and then you always email me, and I'll give you my phone number if you ever need to talk or just chat or whatever, man. I'm here for you, dude. I hope it's all going to be okay. And I don't mean to gloss over it, but I'm sure you don't want to just keep talking about it, so I'll kind of move forward. But man, I'm hoping good things for her. The next up is a 2001, I guess, metal. Most of these are all stickers. This is another one, Big Boss Man right here. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right. That's Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man right here. Right here. Right here. So there you go, Big Boss Man. Oh, this is a cool. This is a shiny one. Shiny one for China. Shiny China. There you go. We got China. Here we go. This is a 2001 sticker as well. It says metal, so I'm assuming it's from some metal company. There you go. Got China right there. It's very Chinese China. Well, she's not actually Chinese. She's American. And we got another China right here. So there you go. This is China. Yeah, I mean, most of you all know there's going to be a documentary about China that's going to be on Vice, I think, in the next week or two, maybe into July. I'm not for sure. I saw the first preview, like the first trailer for the documentary. It looks like it's going to be very interesting. A lot of people don't know, like, yeah. If I was you, I would definitely I would definitely recommend watching AEW because actually that's good wrestling. But if you do watch WWE, I prefer Friday's SmackDown's a much better product than Raw on Mondays on USA. On SmackDown on Fox is much better. The storylines somewhat make sense. They have like a progression of the story. So anyway, so I would recommend that if I was you. That's just my 2 cents. So we got China here. We got another China right here. So yeah, definitely worth checking out the show, guys. I think I saw the trailer, like I said, the preview for the documentary. It looks to be very interesting. A lot of people don't know. I mean, like she was pretty much just like bounced out of WWE. You know, like she wanted more money, I believe, and they just let her go. I mean, pretty much Triple H and her were dating, and then Triple H threw her to the side and started dating Stephanie McMahon, and then they got married in real life, or whatever. And China was on the outside looking in, and then she ended up doing all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to get into a lot of what she was doing, her extracurricular activities, but it was stuff that's, let's just say, it wasn't a different kind of wrestling, if you know what I mean. But she ended up as a teacher in Japan, and where she was working, also she was also doing matches in Japan as well, which was very interesting. Yeah, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and then I forgot Cross's first name. Yeah, she's pretty good. She's from Scotland. Becky Lynch hasn't been back for a while. But anyways, she was actually teaching in Japan when I was in Japan. I didn't even know that. I mean, obviously we weren't in the same area. But Nikki Cross, that's her name, Nikki Cross, by the way. But so anyways, yeah, so there you go. Then we have, this is a pretty cool one here. We got Edge and Christian. Now Christian's over with AEW, and he goes by Christian Cage, because I guess he can't go by the name Christian. And Edge I think he's been off TV for a while, but he had been a pretty important character with the Roman Reigns going on with Roman Reigns. So we'll see. Yeah, McIntyre. Yep. What's his first name? I forgot all of a sudden. Drew McIntyre, and then I like Sheamus. Sheamus is my boy. I like Sheamus. Here we got another Trish Stratus. I think that's how you say it. I can't remember. I can't ever remember. Again, this is from 2001. We were just talking about her. I think this is Stephanie McMahon. I think that's Stephanie McMahon. She's kind of gone through some changes over the years, if you know what I mean. So I'm not for sure. I think that's Stephanie McMahon. That looks like an outfit that she has worn in the past. So yeah, Sheamus' nose got broken in real life, but he was on a Raw on Monday apparently with his nose guard and face guard and running his mouth. So I guess there's gonna be something going on there. And they got Randy Orton and the Bro KO, I guess. What's the one guy? Matt Riddle's with them. So then we got Terry Runnels right there, which I believe she used to be married to Dustin Rhodes, aka Goldust. She obviously was again another girl that was a pretty big deal during the Attitude Era as a manager / wrestler. And then we have this is a cool one here. We have Matt and Jeff Hardy along with Lita. As you all know, Matt Hardy in real life was dating Lita, and then Lita in real life left him for Edge. And WWE, in their great wisdom, thought it was a good idea to play out their real life drama for the wrestling fans on screen. And so they fired Matt Hardy in real life and then brought him back a couple weeks or a month later because Matt Hardy went online. Nowadays, that thing would probably cancel you permanently, but he went online and aired his grievances towards what had happened, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't have done it online, but I get where he's coming from. So they fired him because apparently they thought he was the bad guy, even though it was his girlfriend who left, and he started dating his best friend, which again was not a good look. They fired Matt Hardy, and then they brought him back because the outcry was so huge. And then he goes and then wrestles Edge. And guess what? Edge wins. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up. So it's like they rewarded the home wrecker with the win and made Matt Hardy look like some schmuck. We got the Dudley Boys right here. I like the Dudley Boys. Bubba Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley, and Devon Dudley, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's Bully Ray. And I like them. They were, of course, in the extreme type matches that had like, Christian edge to it some degree, but like the Hardy Boys, again, a lot of the tables, ladders, and chair matches. And then they did more of the extreme ECW stuff. And then we have this guy here. This is a referee. Then we got a WWF sticker, which is cool. I don't know who this girl is here. I've never seen her before. I don't recognize her. Anybody know who that is? I don't know. This is from 2001 Metal, sticker 192, Magic Box International. Don't recognize her. Next up, we have an APA. Apocalypse, right? I forgot what they stand for. Sorry. APA. Acolytes or something. Acolytes of the Apocalypse or something. I can't remember. Sorry. Yeah, I don't like Bobby Lashley either, by the way, dude. Oh, was that Molly Holly? Oh, maybe it was Molly Holly. It's possible. I only want wrestling cards of Bliss. I hope to get McIntyre, Reigns, Cena, Lynch, Cross, Kingston. Yeah. Yeah, well, you definitely can get a lot of those cards if you get modern day product, that's for sure. I don't know anything about, wrestling cards or any cards for that matter if they're readily available at, your local retailer or whatnot. So but there you go. And then we got X-Pac right here sticker, which is cool. Talking about a guy who took lemons and made lemonade, man. Dude was a 1-2-3 kid. He didn't like he was gonna be some jobber. I mean, he looked like he weighed like a $120. Long stringy hair, looked kind of like a goofball. And then he ended up turning out to be one of the best wrestlers really ever. Shockingly, I mean, he was in the NWO. Of course, he was on his own as like a cruiserweight wrestler. He was in NWO. He was ended up being in the D-Generation X. Dude was a little bit everywhere, man. Then we got Rikishi. He's gonna be in town in a couple months for autograph signing. So I don't know if I'll get that. I got a couple of Rikishi, so I might try to get a couple of these signed and maybe send off to graded. There we go. If I can think of it. I haven't thought about grading it for so long, but it'd be cool to get a couple of these autographed and graded because here's one of him giving, I believe that's called a sunset flip, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody who knows. Yeah, I like Matt Hardy. I'm not a big, I like Jeff Hardy fine too. But like I said, I like Matt Hardy because I've been watching him back when him and Jeff were big in WWF. But really, I've been really a big fan of him since he's been with AEW. He has a new character he's created, a new gimmick. Big Money Matt Hardy, the Kingmaker. That's kind of like his thing, and he has kind of made a stable between him. Private Party, Butcher and the Blade, and Bunny. He also uses TH2 to be kind of like his lackeys. He's playing a bad guy. I like him. I like what he's doing. I think he plays like an arrogant, just kind of real heel manager / wrestler. I like the character. I wasn't a big fan of whenever he did the delete thing, like Damascus or something. That was lost on me. I know that was a thing in TNA, and I think a little bit in WWE. But the whole just pretending to be like an ancient warrior ghost spirit thing or whatever from the medieval times, and he would just run around screaming, "You've been deleted." I just never got into it. So, and maybe it would work if it was in a live crowd scenario, but on TV, I just feel like it didn't translate. And I liked him as a wrestler. I just didn't like that gimmick. I thought he was great as a wrestler, but I was like, man, I couldn't really invest in that character. But the whole big money mad thing he does, the the Hardy Family Office, HFO, that's his new gimmick also with the stable he's created. And I like that. I actually really do like that. Here's another Rikishi doing a slam. I don't know who this guy is. It looks like it's Kurt Angle with the red, white, blue trunks or a singlet. But Rikishi. Now, a lot of people might not know this, but Jay and Jimmy Uso are Rikishi's sons in real life. Those are his actual twin boys, Jay and Jimmy Uso. So just in case if you were wondering. And then we have Chris Benoit, the Canadian murderer. Killed his wife and kid. Not a big fan. I mean, obviously, I appreciate anything someone sends me, but knowing what we all know about Chris Benoit, it's a tragic story, but not because of Benoit. It's a tragic story because of his wife who played Woman in WCW, I believe, and his wife. She was his wife in real life, and then their young son. So here, I'm not for sure who China's whipping up on, but here we got China whipping up on somebody. This is an intergender match, as you see, because China, being a woman, is throwing around this dude. I can't tell who the dude is. I don't know. I can't tell, but you can't tell it's China in the picture. Oh, here you go. Here's the other side of it. So you go. You got the car. You can put it together. There we go. There we go. Boom. Boom. And then I think her name's Jacqueline. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if that's Al Snow. Then we got Jacqueline here. Again, I think she was one of the few, I kind of felt like real wrestlers during the time. Maybe I'm wrong. But I felt like she was a little bit more serious about the wrestling, or a little bit more like they used her more in wrestling angles than they had her running around in skimpy clothes. I'm sure she was doing that too, but I don't remember her as much. Maybe I'm completely off base with that, but it is what it is. Oh, how appropriate is this? I'm not for sure who this character is, but there you have Censored, which does not surprise me at all because that's the world we live in. It's not Jazz. That's Jacqueline. Jazz, I believe, is a different character. But here we got Censored, which how appropriate is that nowadays? Here we have the American BA character of the Undertaker that he did for a handful of years. So it's like the one time that Undertaker had lots of personality. Well, lots compared to being the Undertaker. He was doing a lot more talking. He was doing more gimmicks. He was doing a lot more like the whole motorcycle kind of like angle. He was kind of walked away from like the mysticism of the Undertaker and zombies and dead people and ghosts and all that. It was more like straight up, motorcycle enthusiast. And then here we have, it looks like the Dudley Boys putting, I don't know, it looks like Billy Gunn, I could be wrong, and some sort of into a table. Can't really make out who that is that just got like smashed. Stevie Richards, that could be maybe Stevie Richards, I don't know. I'm not for sure. Hey, what up, Falsey? All right, and then we got Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley again. So here we got that. Man, I'm not gonna get through all these cards. I'm over here sitting there thinking like, oh, I'll get through this in like an hour. There ain't no way, dude. I will have to do another live stream maybe tomorrow or something to kind of do these, but just to have fun and talk and catch up with everybody. Here's another Devon Dudley. I don't know. It looks like he's like smacking maybe Christian. I don't know. With a move there. Oh, okay. So the person that we couldn't figure out who it was, I guess her name's Cat. The Cat Meow. The one, remember, we thought it might be Molly Holly, but apparently it's Kat, which I did not remember. I don't remember Kat. And then who we have here? I believe that's Triple H. I'm not for sure who he has up. It might be Goldust. I can't tell. We got Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Game, the Cerebral Assassin. I know that, like, you know, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H positioned himself right in the perfect spot to become, like, you know, a mainstay because he was boinking, you know, the owner's daughter and then became her husband or whatever. Or he became, he became her husband. And then he moved on up to the sky. So he got another piece of the pie. So all of a sudden he became more relevant than ever. And I just never was a big fan of Triple H. I know he had tons of matches with tons of greats, and he's a good wrestler. I just was never like a Triple H guy. I could take him or leave him. If I had to pick between him and Shawn Michaels, I'm picking Shawn Michaels every time. So here we got John China right here with Seth Rollins, it says. Yeah, I'm not a big, like I said, every time I see John China now, I'm just going to always think of the complete lack of balls that guy has. And I'll tell that to his face. I mean, he might pick me up and pile drive me into the concrete. I'm not saying anything like he ain't going to be able to destroy me. Of course he could. But that does not change about how I feel about the schmuck. Then we have the Dudley Boys getting ready to like headbutt Edge in the nuts. In the old sack, in the old sickety sack. Do they have little Triple H's running around? Oh, I know they have. I think he has 3 daughters, if I'm not mistaken. He has 3 girls with Stephanie. I could be wrong, but I think it's 3 girls. So we got the Dudley Boys, and I was saying I was correct. Here's Jacqueline. There's her autograph. Well, her facsimile autograph of Jacqueline. And like I said, I'm sure she was doing like bra and panty matches too, but I feel like she was less used in that capacity compared to some of the other girls. Oh no, it's John China. If you didn't get the memo, Henry, you can look it up online. Here we got The Rock trying to manhandle Kane. I had a brain lag. This is what happens when you're an old man. So yeah, we all know in real life Kane probably would pull it off The Rock's arms. Now nowadays maybe Rock's pretty ripped, pretty lit, but back in the jabroni days, I don't know. I feel like he may be in trouble there. Again, I'm not a big Kane fan either. I just thought we already had one of those characters. It's called The Undertaker. Obviously, I understand that was his brother, and I understand the whole thing. I get it, 100% understand what they were doing with that. But I just was never really invested in the Kane story at all. And I don't know who this guy is, but he's trying to look pretty tough. We'll call him Sparkly McSparkle Tie. But here you go. I don't know who this guy is. He has a 1 elbow pad and a suit and tie. Well, in a shirt and tie with a shiny black belt. So there you go. Sorry, I'm getting past my bedtime. So we got the shiny one, and then we have Live Wire. I guess that was one of their TV shows back in the day, Live Wire. Got that. Raw is War. We all remember that. 2001, Raw is War, when they were going up against WCW. And eventually, as we all know, WWF/E1. SmackDown on the blue brand. Then we got Warzone right here. Then we got Latino Heat. Eddie Guerrero. There you go. I actually saw this past week Shaw Guerrero, his daughter. She did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, CVV, over on his channel on YouTube. And she's married to Aiden English. I think his real name is Matt Renwalt. But Shaw Guerrero started out, kind of doing wrestling like her dad, just because I think that she felt like that was what she's supposed to do. And then she never could really, she never could, rise to the expectations that they had because of Eddie Guerrero. And it's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. And I mean, this is probably a hot take that a lot of people are not going to like. And I think Eddie Guerrero was a great wrestler, but I don't know if he deserve all the accolades that people throw on him nowadays. I don't know if it's because he died when he was so young, because of drugs, essentially. Is it because like he was maybe one of the first Latin wrestlers that really rose to prominence, and they're putting him over because of that? But I mean, I remember watching him in WCW, and I always thought he was good. I mean, I always thought he was fine. But I mean, again, I never thought, wow. Actually, the wrestler I loved watching in WCW was Conan. I loved Conan. I thought he was great. I mean, he always come out with his wolf pack, with his like whatever I don't know what you call it, cholo or whatever, like tied, his like plaid shirt, and he come out with the big baggy pants. It's very 90s with the sunglasses and the bandana, and be like, Andre Liberarasa. I mean, I love that stuff. I just thought it was cool, that was what I was big into. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to talk negative about him or anything. And I thought he was a great wrestler for sure. I feel like we kind of put him on a really high pedestal more than other wrestlers who had as successful, if not more successful career than Eddie Guerrero. I don't know. It's probably a hot take that people aren't going to like, but it's all right. I can handle it. Then we got John China. It looks like he's against Ryback there. I could be. Oh, it is. It says Ryback. See, look at that. I can look at this Ryback's backside and know it's him. We got old John China right there. You can't CCP me, baby. What a douchebag, dude. Seriously. When I look at it, the seeing that just irks me. We got X Pac here. I think it's X Pac, and I think that's Chris Jericho that he has on the ground. It looks like it. Yeah, I haven't been over to Dollar Tree yet. I've been kind of holding back on buying a bunch of more physical media to sell. I've been focusing more on buying physical media to keep for my own collection. I have another one or two rounds of eBay sale I have on some physical media, not hardly any of it's from Dollar Tree, actually. Almost all of it's from my personal collection that I want to sell off, and I need to do that. But I have a few more I got to do. So here we have 1, 2, 3 Kid with Chris Jericho. All right. And then we have, this is Edge. Look at Edge. Right up there, pointing into the crowd, or poking into the crowd, I guess you can say. There you go. Never been, like I said, a huge Edge fan. Here we got Christian with like it looks like the Lenny Kravitz sunglasses and the fishnet shirt, like he's like some one of the transsexuals from transvestites from Transsexual Transylvania and Rocky Horror Picture Show with that fishnet shirt on. He could be a long-haired Rocky. Let's do the time begin. So he's now on AEW as Christian Cage. I never was a big Christian fan either, but since he's been with AEW and kind of, I don't know if he's changed his character or if this character is the one he's had for before, but I like it. I dig it. Then we got my two main guys now that are commentators over on AEW. Got Taz and good old JR, Jim Ross. Jim Ross, I believe, unfortunately, has lost the ability to really sell and put over wrestlers as an announcer. Either he's disinterested, or he's just getting too much. He's getting too old and he can't keep up, or he just doesn't care to like go that deep in the being a commentator anymore. you can just tell on Wednesday / now Friday nights AEW not Dynamite. He can't say people's names. He gets people mixed up all the time. He don't know what the moves are. You know, it just kind of it sounds like an old man fumbling around. You know, trying to figure out how to be relevant still. And it's kind of sad. I feel like they need to pull him off commentary and let him just do you know, backstage interviews. That's what he's really good at. Like sit down interviews with the personnel, with the staff. I think he's really good at that still. I think he still has the chops for that. He can be prepared. You know, I think he has a lot of more of ability to kind of, you know, prepare himself. Whereas right now, when you're doing a live show, I mean, Tony Schiavone and Excalibur covers a ton to help out JR. And then we got Taz, who is a human suplex machine, who is criminally underrated over WWE. WCW, he like was where he made his name. I'm sorry, ECW, being an extreme wrestler, that's where he really made his name and has made his brand, so to speak. But WWF just completely dropped the ball with Taz. But I do like the character he plays now on AEW. He's a commentator on Tuesday nights like tonight, and then he also has Team Taz. And that consists of his son, who has not yet wrestled, but he's there. Ricky Starks, Brian the Machine Cage, and Powerhouse Will Hobbs. And Hobbs and Cage are just huge bohemians, like just man meat, just all there. And Ricky Starks is like a poor man's Dwayne the Rock Johnson, but dare I say better on the mic than the Rock was at his age. And he's great in the ring, absolutely awesome in the ring. So there you go. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. I have a huge stack here, as you see. I barely scratched the surface, so I'm gonna come back and maybe do some more tomorrow. Just kind of keep the ball rolling. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Thank you for spending some time of your evening. I had a good time chatting and catching up with everybody. Henry, I hope your mom's going to be okay. Definitely let me know if there's anything I can do. Praying for you guys. I hope it's, you know, she'll be good to go moving forward. I hope whatever's going on is something that's, you know, temporary. But man, definitely keep me posted, brother. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.